So medical tourism is becoming increasingly popular here in Ukraine, and there's a very good reason for that, and that's because it costs a fraction of the price of that in Western Europe or in North America. But a question I'm often asked by foreigners who want to come to Ukraine and maybe get some medical procedures done is, Connor, can I get the same quality as back home, whether it happens to be in Western Europe or North America? So in today's Tip Thursday with me, Connor Klein, we're going to go and see if you can get European standard medical treatment here in Ukraine. Поехали! So I'm just outside of Odryx now, which is a series of private clinics here in Odessa in Ukraine. So let's go inside and see exactly what type of quality of service that you can get here in Odessa and see if it's up to that European standard. So what I've decided to do is to conduct 2 interviews in Odessa with healthcare specialists, one from Odryx and the other is an accomplished dentist here. So let's see what they say or the differences or similarities between healthcare in Ukraine and in the West.
Цена на услуги, я думаю, что где-то наполовину точно, в некоторых позициях гораздо меньше мы, это прям однозначно. По диагностике мы намного дешевле, чем Европа. В МРТ-диагностике, компьютерной томографии, ультразвуковая. Также можно делать у нас некие чекапы, они называются. Это профосмотры, осмотры. Это может быть для мужчин, для женщин, в разные возраста. И такие вещи, уверен, что они дешевле, ну, наверное, в несколько раз, чем в Европе, у нас в стране, в нашей клинике.
I can compare only with those prices that I saw from the other patients, you know. First thing, in Odessa also there are like, I'd say that 3 levels of prices. For example, in dental clinics also, you know. Like, and also you can find very high level and it will be still not as high as Europe and US. For example, from like words of my patients and from the papers that I saw from my patients, yeah. For example, if we say about, I don't know, extirpation of the tooth, yeah. I saw that in New York or, for example, in Canada, they could extract it for $3,000. Here it costs, if we translate it in, transfer it to the dollars, it's about $30 or $40. Okay, maybe $50. So the prices are very different, you know. Or for example, if we're talking about veneers or artificial crowns, yeah. I have patients who did this in Europe or in US for $2,000 or $3,000 each. Here it will cost you $300 or $400. So the difference is in thousands. That is why like the different prices are very big. It's like not twice or so. It's about, I don't know. Here you can do everything for 20%. So of the price there. So that is why like that is why I have a lot of patients from abroad, because it's easier and cheaper to get the ticket here to stay here for 1 or 2 months, for example, if they can't afford it because of their work and lifestyle. They come here, they stay even you know, like it's summertime, so they visit beaches, they go everywhere in Odessa and treat teeth, so it's okay.
Я думаю, что в любое время суток найдется персонал, который будет говорить на английском языке. Это не проблема. С другими языками сложнее, конечно. Но на английском в каждом отделении, на каждой смене есть кто-то, кто сможет объясниться на английском. У нас есть некоторые пациенты, к нам приезжают на сегодняшний день из Германии для операции. К нам приезжал пациент из Польши на операцию, из Швейцарии на операцию приезжал. Поэтому, в принципе, у нас есть такой опыт. Он небольшой, не так много иностранцев у нас было в клинике. Но мы активно развиваем, популяризируем это направление и открыты всегда, и готовы это обсуждать. Я как медицинский директор без проблем обсужу с любым пациентом и покажу им, что это хорошо, не страшно, и что все будет у них в порядке. Мы открыты для любых направлений работы. Можно у нас купить некий страховой пакет, Ну, человек, если здесь находится, он может ежегодно покупать себе страховой пакет на emergency, что если какая-то неотложная ситуация, то, конечно, без проблем приедет наша скорая. Также, если человек приезжает сюда на какой-то короткий период, мы принимаем и разовые вызовы, и на скорую помощь, и без проблем сможем и приехать в любую минуту на помощь, даже если это нужно там однократно. Человек приехал, у него поднялась температура, он не знает, что делать, он позвонил нам, мы приехали. Недавно, пару месяцев назад, иностранец приехал, его укусила собака на улице, он не знал, что делать. Они с отелем позвонили нам, мы без проблем оказали помощь, сделали все нужные уколы для того, чтобы не возникло никаких сложностей у них.
The same. Actually the same. Like also, you know, like maybe before I went there and saw all these things in clinics, I thought that in Europe or in the US it's much like better, it's high and high. No, 100%. So also there are clinics where you can get very high level, also you can get something very like low. And like you know, when I came to Western Europe and saw things that I saw, I even couldn't believe my eyes, because I thought that in Europe there is no like things like I saw, because I thought that it's only in USSR maybe. But when I saw it, I couldn't believe. That is why after this I started to, you know, like it was like a transformation for me. Then I understood that okay, no, not everything is not as bad, you know. So we can work and we can do the same stuff, you know. Like we have very good results in all different clinics in Ukraine, especially in Odessa, you know, and we make all this modern stuff. Like for example, all these veneers from the most modern materials like EMAX, or for example, I also make them, or we all insert all these modern implants like Straumann, like Nobel, like Vicon. So it's like the most like rah. That is why like it's right now, if you're going to the private clinic, and we all try to give the level, and like we like our work, that is why I can say that the level is almost the same. Even I saw, because I have a lot of patients from Europe and from US, I saw a lot of different things when people came, and I couldn't believe that someone in Europe did this. So 100% I did this better after this, and people were satisfied, and they next year they came with their friends and with their families, and again and again. So that is why like I can say that I can't say that in Ukraine it's better than somewhere, no, 100% no, but it's almost the same. You can find something bad, you can find something very good.
Okay. I don't think that in the medical service, our private clinic in the third countries, we are ready to give the medicine like in Europe. We have every equipment, we have the staff, we have the drugs, so we are ready, and we are ready to meet you and to show you that the medicine in Odessa and Ukraine is very well, not worse than that in Europe. So welcome to Odessa. We have the German people, Switzerland people, Polish people, Jewish people that we had from Israel, yes. I think that's all what we do now.
I have all the Europe, France, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Swiss, even from Eastern Europe I have from Czech Republic and Poland, of course UK. From UK I have good patients. I even have from Japan. I have a few patients from Africa. I don't know how they found me, but I have them. Also I have of course from US. From US, from different states, so it's like there are a lot of them, let's say just US. From Canada, from Australia, and maybe that's it. Maybe I like forgot something, but in general that's it. In general, you know, like thanks for the question. You know, in general, all we get our education in Ukraine. The biggest it's in Kiev, in Lviv, in Odessa, in Kharkiv, and in Poltava. In Poltava, dental university also in Poltava. So most of all, like people from here, and a lot of our students, they go after this in Europe. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they stay there in Germany, in Poland, in Czech Republic. They confirm their diplomas. For example, I confirmed my diploma in Canada, but like I decided to come back and stay here, so I like to be here.
Okay, so there's a mix. There's a mix of Ukrainians who go abroad and then stay, and a mix
Yes.
who come back. And
Yes, 100%. I'd say that maybe 60 or 70% people who stay here and 30% who go abroad. In municipal clinics, in general, there are people who stay there just after the university, or they try to teach somewhere, something like get more things to do, like to understand what to do, how to work. And the prices there, of course, they are lower, but the quality is not as high like in private clinics. Because like in private clinics, so because when people come and pay their money, so they I tend to get higher level. That is why like doctors there understand that if they get money, they must work harder, they must all the time, they must like find new things and go to different courses, visit different other clinics. Also, we are going like those people who work in private clinics, we go out abroad, also go for all over the world just to get new information about new things. For example, like in 2014 there was a Professor Chikroun, so he's from France, and he invented new things, and we tried to get them to dentistry. So it was new lectures, like especially I found them just in the internet. And we found these lectures, even if there was not in open world, you know, we found these lectures, like read them or listened them to just in English, and then we tried to work with PRF, so it's like new things with the stem cells, for example. Yeah. So right now it's not as new, but in 2014 it was something extra special. So all the time we're trying to be better, you know. We visit different exhibition clinics, exhibitions in Europe, in US, so also different clinics in Europe. For example, I visited different clinics in Austria, in France, in Germany, in Hungary. So like visited exhibitions in Paris, in Cologne, in Germany. So it's really most of all, like, you know, it's interesting. It's something new. If you work with this or you don't know how to solve this problem, this matter, then you go there and you find out something new, something interesting, new instrument, new materials. So that is why like we're growing and growing and growing. And also like everywhere in all over the world right now, we must to count, like to have points that we are working, and we must send them to our government to say that okay, we can work harder and harder, and we can work further, you know. And each 5 years we must confirm that we can work also further, and also our level, like it works better and better and better. So that is why I like.
So there, through those interviews, you get a good overview of the similarities and differences between the level and quality of healthcare here in Ukraine versus the West. And this is actually a perfect time to be considering investing further in your knowledge about life in Ukraine if you are considering moving here for 3 to 12 months a year, because I've just opened enrollment for the relaunch of my premium high-level consultation group, Slavic Utopia Secrets Ukraine. There's a link down below. We're actually about to launch when I'm filming this. It's going to be in 2 days actually. So there's 3 places left. So I'm going to put a link down below where you can go and enroll if there's still places left on that. So what are you going to learn in Slavic Utopia Secrets Ukraine? Well, not only are we going to go deeper into the medical system here in Ukraine, also we're going to figure out how you get to stay longer than the 90 days visa-free every 180, residency, citizenship, all that good stuff, visas. On top of that, and this is the biggest reason why guys I find are attracted by Ukraine at the moment, is the local real estate market, because there are massive opportunities here. Probably still costs a fraction of the West, even though it has increased a bit in the last year or so. On top of that, you're going to need a plan to overcome the language barrier, unless you already speak fluent Russian and or Ukrainian. Moreover, you don't want to end up Billy No Mates. I actually had a consulting call recently where a guy who moved here told me, he said that's the biggest problem I'm facing now, Connor, is like, I don't have local friends, whether they're expats that I really get on with or Ukrainians. You don't want to end up Billy No Mates. I have another podcast about that, that'll link down below as well for your education. And you definitely don't want to miss out on the myriad of business opportunities here in Ukraine, because there are a lot of things that have already been validated in the West that are coming here to Ukraine but haven't been executed quite fully yet. So there's still a lot of opportunities. It's down below, the link to Slavic Utopia Secrets Ukraine. On top of that, even if you're not up for moving to Ukraine right now, there is my free mailing list. You need to be on that to actually get notified when I launch these things. I only launch them to my most loyal friends who are on that free mailing list. So there's a link there. On top of it, you get a free gift, which is the Tsar's hotspots for Minsk in Belarus, Kiev, and Odessa in Ukraine. So a bit of a no-brainer for you. Get on that. The link is down below. And I will see you in the very next video. Do pobачення, до свидання from Free Ukraine. Soft feeling of freedom here in Ukraine. Ciao, ciao.
Tsar Experience.